1991, this Hungarian chess whiz became the then youngest grandmaster at 15. She was also the only woman to have ever been ranked among the top 10 in the world. During her career, she defeated 11 world champions including Garry Kasparov, Viswanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. Now she uses the game as a social tool to improve learning methods. She will also lead the first global interactive community chess simule in Dubai on March 20th. Legend, trailblazer and one of the greatest chess players ever. We're thrilled to have Judit Polgár.
It is very important for me that my parents raised me that I should be getting the best I can in the sport, not depending on the gender or any other thing. And this is why it was kind of a milestone, because it was a very few events that I was playing in ladies competition. It was when I was 10 years old, I was playing in the under 16 world championship, plus the 2 Olympiads, which we won. But generally speaking, we were raised that we should be playing against the best opposition. And men, unfortunately, they are just on a higher level. So when you play against stronger opposition, you challenge yourself on a higher level. My character fits very well to the competition. So for me, challenge was always inspiring. Hard work is something definitely beats the talent, but of course, if you have the two together, that's the perfect match. To work hard on daily basis, it is essential. Like talent without work is not much, but work without talent can even reach further. For me, my life was, since I started to play chess, in the beginning I was playing 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, and then it started to increase the minutes and hours later on. So by the time I was 10, 11, I was playing 6, 7, 8 hours, and I was homeschooled. So in those period of time, then we were focusing on the subjects and we made the exam. But it's definitely something that you have to spend the time. So this is something very important, that how do you make your the timing to make the best form, right? It can also go when you have your exam, and it's kind of the same thing. But first of all, I can play more calmly when I know that I did my homework. I did my preparation properly, what I did. When things were going wrong, first of all, obviously it's very painful. But I think if you have your perseverance, you understand that sometimes it just happens. And when things went bad in my career, I had to be patient very much, because you cannot help it. And most of the time when things go wrong, you cannot fix it right there and then, which means that you have to go with the flow. You have to make damage control, which means in chess that when, let's say, I was losing one game and I felt that I'm in bad form, and so try not to lose again. And then you have to understand that you have to hang on, and you have to analyze your mistakes, analyze why things go wrong. What can I be changing, switching my attitude, my mindset, my training pattern? I have to look for other coaches. Sometimes you have to make little adjustments to make it better. But one comes in mind, for example, when I played against Garry Kasparov, but not the game when I beat him, but I had another 2 exceptionally interesting games from strategical point of view. Because I played in 2001 in Linares, in the biggest tournament at the time of chess. And for example, I was having a strategy against him when I played with the white pieces, that I knew that he does not like when his king being attacked. So I had my mindset that whatever it costs, that I have to keep my strategy this way. But of course, there were point in the game where I had to already give up material, sacrifice some things from my army, and I was sacrificing a pawn, which is the smallest valuable piece in chess. So I could still keep my strategy, and I was hanging on, and that was a very good decision. But of course, Kasparov is extremely strong. He was playing the best moves. And then again, there was a very hard moment where I thought, well, it's either I go to the direction that probably I'm going to be drowning fast, or I go to a direction where I even sacrifice more, but it's risky, but it seems that I have some chances to save myself. And I went to that direction, so I gave up more material against him, and then he got confused. He couldn't calculate so fast. He didn't find it, and then this way I could save the game, and it was a draw. Ladies need, I think, is the attitude, that kind, and also that they have to be having their mindset that they should be focusing really to get as good as possible. They have to be focusing on the number of hours also to invest, because I think many times, few decades before, most of the ladies, I mean, there were only few exceptions who were also working very hard on daily basis. So this is something very important, but it's not easy to manage yourself and being in the environment of the guys. I had the support. My mother was traveling with me for quite a long time. Later on, my husband was supportive, but still, the game of chess, the sport, it's still a male-dominated sport for sure. Though there are more and more ladies playing in open section, they also perform one game here, one game there, where they beat, let's say, a man grandmaster or even a higher ranked on the world ranking. But definitely you have to have the fighting spirit, and you have to have this character to like challenges and have the perseverance to be able to go to tournaments and fight it out with the other guys. There are quite a few ladies who think that this is going to be their profession, and they do have their fighting spirit, and because they go for more open tournaments and challenge themselves in those, I think it also gives them improvement, self-confidence, and they see that they can improve on those events. But still, there is a little confusion because they play many times on those events to exercise, to practice in order to go back to a women's world championship cycle and become the world champion. But you have to understand that the number one, the world champion now, she's actually number 400 in the world. So it's, for example, there is a talented girl in Hungary, and she's the top in the world in her age group, under 14, Zsóka Gal, and I'm supporting with my foundation her, and then I'm talking with her. So when the journalists are asking, what do you say, what is your aim, what are your goals, that's there. And then she says, well, I want to become a women's world champion and the best I can. And I'm telling her to change a little bit on the mindset, to say, okay, I want to get as good as possible. And by the way, I would like to become a world champion, because it has a different message to your brain. And this is something extremely important, I think, for girls to understand that they should really be the best they can, and to reach the highest potential wherever they are and whatever they want to reach. But you're going to be passing by maybe being the world champion, but still then in your mindset you think that, okay, it's great that I achieve it, but I want to go further, I want to get better. And I think this is very important for all the girls who play chess, to have the mindset that, yes, I just have to be the best I can in the sport. By playing chess and being on the top, obviously my way of living, expectations, and many other things are influenced. And really, I have these trademarks, whatever I do. It's definitely, I learned that no matter how bad the situation is, like I lose a game, you can, in the next game, you can fix it, but still you have to change your mind. So you have to be a resilient mindset to be able to change. I learned that you have to analyze yourself. You have to be very self-critical in order to move on, whether it's on the chessboard or a chess tournament or whether in life. It's also clear that you can always change things. If something doesn't work, then you can change, but you have to put effort. You have to have the perseverance, you have to have the expectations from yourself. You need to have a team, because even though chess is an individual sport, it does not mean it's not a teamwork, because I had my coach, I had my parents supportive, I had many people. So it goes for everything. Whatever you do, it's only sometimes more or sometimes less. I'm in the front line in a chess game, or even if I do some other things, but it has to be a teamwork, and you have to manage that very well in order to be successful.